My good friend is a theater director. That means he's literally in charge of the entire production. He gets to pick the play, modify it, and decide how it will be presented to the audience. Then he gets to choose the actors and assign them their parts, teaching them, correcting them, guiding them, and coaching them while they rehearse. He even gets to pick their costumes and help design the set. As a director of the play, he is very involved and extremely visible while the play is being rehearsed. But on performance nights, once the play opens, he becomes invisible. He can sit in the crowd and no one even knows. The actors take ownership and the play is in their hands. After the performance, he'll give his comments and suggestions, but he'll never take the stage and he'll never play a part. The actors have to make the play come to life. The other day, my friend came to me with a brilliant insight. This is what church is supposed to look like. In Ephesians 4, Paul writes, Christ himself gave some to be apostles, some to be prophets, some to be evangelists, and some to be pastors and teachers, to equip God's people for works of service, equipping the people to perform their parts. This is the job description of a pastor: casting a vision, rehearsing, inspiring, teaching, guiding, even correcting. Pastors should look a lot like directors, but it's all gotten turned around. Pastors are now paid to both direct and perform the play, and the people just sit in the audience and either applaud or critique their performance. The vast majority of people who call themselves followers of Jesus have never led anyone to Christ. In fact, the commission that Jesus gave us that we call great is not being fulfilled. We're content to sit in our seats on Sunday and then go home and talk about how well the pastor preached, or how good or bad the music was, or how well the actors are performing their parts in the play. We act like the big performance is on Sunday, when in reality it's just a rehearsal. And maybe that's why we don't feel responsible for loving people into relationship with Jesus. When I read the Bible, I read about people who were active. They were actively involved in writing the story of God. Ordinary and regular people who decided to take the stage. And because they did, God's play has been written. And there are some amazing actors in the play. Daniel, who refused to obey the king's edict about prayer and prays anyway. What about Peter the fisherman, who literally gives his life to Jesus and spends his life preaching and teaching the gospel? Or how about Mary from a tiny little town in the northern part of Israel? When the angel stands before her and says, Mary, will you bear the Messiah of the world? She says, may it be unto me as you have said. But none of these people would have been written into the play if they'd only sat in their seats and watched. Are you on stage? Or have you taken a comfortable seat in the audience where you can have a good view of the story, but never take the risk of being a part of it? God doesn't want us to only know the story, read the story, love the story, or watch the story. God wants us to become part of the story, because God's story is still being written today through us. Will you join the play?